Before I can really solidify my top 10 guns list, obviously we got to try out the MG82 first and take a look at the numbers as well as trying it out in the firing range. So we're going to go ahead and throw it on right here. I am already noticing this thing has an absurdly fast fire interval with pretty solid damage. I'm curious to see what these attachments do, if there's any multiplier attachments, because that could be a game changer. It looks like there is. The Division body part multiplier, anything else? A couple different attachments with body part multipliers. All right, I am very intrigued on this one. We're going to have to try the Division and the other one as well, which gives you damage range and bullet speed, the downsides being vertical and horizontal recoil. As far as what the attachments do, wow, that's actually a game changer. No, wait, I was looking at the wrong thing. Definitely still substantial difference, so it gives a 1.1 to the chest and the upper arms, which is nice. Not necessarily the best place to have a better multiplier. Taking a look at the other attachment, and that one's only for the upper arm. No chest multiplier attachment, so there is a difference between the two as far as what you get multiplier bonuses on for. So we'll rock with that one for the time being. Looking at the rest of these, some solid options for sure. Strafe and sprint to fire delay. You do lose out on hip fire spread, but how many times are you really hip firing with an LMG, you know? ADS speed with no downside is definitely nice. Hit flinch, ADS time. Lose out on a lot of strafe speed right there, so I don't think we're going to run that. 15% sprint to fire is not the worst thing in the world. Curious on the magazines as well. It doesn't look like there's any of these that do any type of extra damage, any range. So you got 150 round, 125. That only has a downside of reload time. That might be nice. Fast mag, 125 speed reload, but that's going to hurt your ADS. I don't think we really want that downside. And then we got a speed reloader, which is going to give us extra carried ammo. I don't think that's worth it. 125 seems pretty good. And then we probably choose between FMJ and Disable. I'll take a look at the muzzles and see if I feel like any of these are more worth it than what we've got on there right now. Agency Suppressor, Vertical, no thank you. Vertical, SOCOM, and Muzzle Brake. I don't really feel like any of those are super worth it. We'll take a look at these real quick. There's some nice upside grips on here for sure, and I think especially if we're going to run one of those attachments that hurts our recoil a little bit, then the Field Agent grip could be a decent option. Obviously, you could also build it out to just have crazy mobility, but I don't think that's going to be worthwhile. All right, we're going to go ahead and I guess I can't even copy the loadout. I'll keep that in my mind. Division, Bandit, Scrapper, 125, and FMJ. But as far as the numbers go, it's nice that you have that first range with potential to kill really, really fast. Unfortunately, that's not really going to be ideal for an LMG. And the fact that that only goes out 8 meters is a really big downside. Okay, I was curious. It feels like that was super slow. That was because of the attachment we have on here. I think that's going to make the Task Force barrel a much better option. It doesn't have nearly the same multipliers, but I feel like that's definitely still more worthwhile because, oh my gosh, only 8 meters that first range is absolutely devastating. And think about the 5-shot time to kill. It's going to be, I guess that would be times 4, so a little over 240, probably around 250 milliseconds. I don't see this being substantially better than the MG42, at least for the way that it is right now, and it makes sense. Like, they're two very similar, at least by the name, guns. It does have much slower rate of fire than the MG42, and the MG42s can be accelerated a good bit, does a little bit more damage. We'll hop into the firing range, but I don't really see this being a top 10 gun in the game right now. If I'm being completely honest, we'll go ahead and hop in. We do already have the weapon model downloaded, so we don't have to worry about that at all, and we have a pretty good idea of what attachments we want to be using. So we'll scroll on down, MG82 right here. No muzzle, we throw on the Task Force barrel. Yes, it's going to hurt our recoil, but we can make it back in other ways. I think we're probably going to run with the Bandit Steady for the time being. Not going to bother with any of the grips. I don't think 125 round, or actually the base 125 felt like better value. Then we got a rear grip where we throw on the extra 15% ADS time and FMJ for the weapon skill. Either FMJ or disable. Between the two, you can kind of choose however you want to. So looking at this, seems like it handles decently. You're definitely going to want to aim for the upper body. That 31 to the head is obviously going to guarantee you a 4-shot, which is definitely way below average time to kill. The thing is, as far as the time to kill whenever you're not getting that 4-shot, it is not going to be super competitive, especially in the current meta. And I feel like I forgot we have the different movement as well. Somebody was showing gameplay where it did show the leaning function. Okay, so it leans, but like barely. Are we sure it leans? It really doesn't look to me like it leans. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It looks to me like it's leaning as I slide. Like, what if I do this? Somebody said there was a setting in here? Is it something that I'm missing out on? What if we go to the bottom? Weapon mirroring, none of that's new. Hide crosshair, like none of those should be newer ones, so I don't know where the auto lean function would even be. Maybe if we scroll down a little bit further. Oh wait, why are these not on 0? Those should always be on 0. Damage number. And I was told it should always be on automatically as well, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe I'm just not in the right spots or something, but it really doesn't look to me like there's any type of auto lean. What if I'm crouching right here? I don't see it. I don't see it. I must not have it on. I must be doing something wrong. But as far as the time to kill, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look like it's going to be mega competitive. It's not getting a mythic gun, so it kind of makes sense that it's that way. And I think especially at the long range, it's going to have a really tough time once again. If you're inside that 12 meters and you're able to land either a headshot or an upper arm shot, that's going to help out a lot. But the only alternative to make it a more consistent 4-tap is if you throw on the other attachment that puts its range at 8 meters of first damage range damage. And yeah, realistically, and once again, not surprising, it's not getting a mythic. I didn't really expect that this was going to be anywhere close to a meta gun. It'll be interesting to try it out, but I think the amount of damage drop off, oh my gosh, that reload speed is insanely slow as well when you get it all the way empty. Still not bad time to kill, but it's just the number of bullets that you need to land, and it's also not got the best irons that I would say I've ever seen. I don't think these are anywhere close to unusable. I might have to run the 125 fast reload. Oh my gosh, this is just insanely slow. And I will say, it doesn't really have much recoil. That's one of the nice things about it. So it'll be easier to use, similar to the MG82. But right now, I just don't see it really making a dent in the meta. So let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in the next one.